This is a review of the Arlo Essential Series wireless cameras. What this video is specifically about is the impact that these wireless cameras have on the Wi-Fi network in your home. These cameras work only on the 2.4 gigahertz band of Wi-Fi. These cameras give great color, great night vision. And what we've done is we've provisioned 3 of the 4 cameras just to see how much bandwidth they take up on your home Wi-Fi network. And what's really neat about these cameras is you charge them up and then they'll last about 6 months on one charge. That's absolutely amazing. And they've got great color rendition. They've got a light for night vision, a microphone, and even a speaker. They're really good cameras. But what does that look like on Wi-Fi? So what we have here is we can display on this screen the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. This is what 2.4 gigahertz looks like. We're on channel 1. This is channel 6, and you can see that there's some access points from area neighbors in the area. And then this is channel 11. And what these spikes here that you see that are in red, that's actually the wireless microphone we're using. So over here on channel 1 is where the access point is in this house. And so it's called Awesome Wi-Fi, and we've labeled it as 2.4 gigahertz. And you can see when I wave my hand over these cameras or move the cameras around, that the traffic is going to significantly pick up on channel 1, which these cameras are on. And so you can see the red marks. This is called a waterfall over time, how much traffic that we're having with these video cameras on the Wi-Fi network on 2.4 gigahertz. And you can see it's going from green to red. Red is where we're waving our hand in front of the cameras and generating video traffic. And what that impact is if we go down here to the channels, right here we're into double digits channel utilization. We're up at about 20% with just 3 cameras on. If we hit 50%, we're at saturation because Wi-Fi is called half duplex or walkie-talkie. So with these 3 cameras out of 4 turned on, you can see over time that we're using up a significant amount of the 2.4 gigahertz channel. And so what we need to do is we need to set up a separate 2.4 gigahertz SSID so the cameras can work at 2.4 gigahertz, and a separate 5 gigahertz SSID so that the kids can come up here to the 5 gigahertz band. And you can see this is what the access point is right here in the house. There's virtually no traffic on this channel. What we'll show you in the next scene will be how do you provision your Wi-Fi access point so that I can have the cameras at 2.4 gigahertz only, and we can have people working at home or being distance learning at home on 5 gigahertz only. Okay, so the solution is to go to the Wi-Fi access point that's located in the house. This is a pretty popular one. It's got 4x4 MIMO on 5 gigahertz, and it's got 2x2 MIMO on 2.4 gigahertz. And what you do is you go up to the side of it and you look on the side and it'll tell you to go to this number, HTTP 192.168.1.254, to log in, and then you type in the device access code. We're going to go log into that, and then we're going to provision this so that we have a separate SSID for the video cameras at 2.4 gigahertz and a separate SSID for everybody else in the house for their tablets, their laptops, homeschooling, or work at home. And so what we want to do is we want to create a separate SSID on 5 gigahertz. And what that looks like is if we go down here, you can see where it says Awesome Wi-Fi, and then down here it says Awesome Wi-Fi 2.4G. So if I get on this one, that means I'm on the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which is this. And you can see, look at all the video that's now getting splurged across there. And if we go down here, look at the channels are at 76% utilization. That channel is being maxed out right now because of all the video traffic. So if you were trying to do distance learning right now, you probably would have a really bad experience on your Zoom meeting. So what the solution is keep the video cameras on 2.4 gigahertz, and what we'll do is we're going to set up 5 gigahertz for distance learning. And what that'll look like on your laptop is I've got the 2.4 gigahertz SSID set up here, and the 5 gigahertz I have it set up here. I just didn't put 5 gigahertz in it. So how do you do this at your house? Because a lot of the times your service provider will give you an access point where you have one SSID and there's no way for you to know whether you're on 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. we're going to show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is we are going to log on with a browser. Just like on the side of the access point, we type in 192.168.1.254. That was the number on the side of the access point. It'll give us a login screen, and this shows the login screen to the Wi-Fi access point. And it gives this on the home screen. It tells you down here on the Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz radio status, and notice that I have an SSID name of Awesome Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz, password information, guest network setup. But what's real important is right here, 5 gigahertz radio status. Notice that the SSID for 5 gigahertz is different from the SSID for 2.4 gigahertz. That's important because we're going to make sure that the cameras log on only to the Awesome Wi-Fi 2.4 gig because they're only 2.4 gig capable, and then everything else in the house we're going to have it go use Awesome Wi-Fi. Normally these, when you get them from the service provider, those SSIDs will be the same, but you need to log in, and the way that you log in is you go up here to settings. It'll bring up a new screen, and we want to go to LAN right here where it says settings and then LAN. Once we go to LAN, then it'll bring up another screen, and then we want to go down here to Wi-Fi. And we can look at this all we want, but if we want to change something, we need to log in the access code. So I'm going to have to type in the access code. So now we can actually change the settings on the access point. The network name here, which we have as Awesome Wi-Fi, it will be the same for 2.4 gig and 5 gigahertz. So we're going to go up here to Advanced Options, and under Advanced Options you can see up here the 2.4 gigahertz radio configuration allows me down here to set a new network SSID, and we typed in 2.4 gigahertz. But if I scroll down a little bit further, you can see that the 5 gigahertz radio right here, I can have a different SSID. And so I set the SSID shorter on 5 gigahertz so it's easier for people to see it. And for the video cameras, I set the network name. I just added 2.4 gig on that back of it, and then I hit save. And what that ends up doing is after a few seconds the access point will reboot, and you're going to see it broadcasting two SSIDs. Awesome Wi-Fi is the 5 gigahertz, and Awesome Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz is the SSID for the 2.4 gigahertz band. And then when you want to go and provision, add a camera, we'll go into the app here. We'll go into the Arlo app, log in, and you can see right now I've got the video cameras running, the 3 that I provisioned, and it's letting me know that it's detecting motion. When I tilt this, you can see the video camera crew right there filming this, and our kitchen. And if we switch back over to this screen to see what the traffic looks like at 2.4 gigahertz, you can see the cameras are transmitting. Now that we have this camera on, we actually have 3 streams, 1 stream per camera going to the access point, and then the access point is sending all 3 streams back to this camera's app. And we're going to show you what that looks like. So if we go over here and go to channel 1, this tool that we're using right now is now looking at the frames. Instead of looking at the power levels, we're actually looking at the bits that are going from these cameras to the access point and back to the camera, and we're going to get a look at how much airtime that these cameras are taking up on the network. So right now we've got about 20 seconds. This is the airtime, and here you can see the Awesome Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz is broadcasting. It was talking to these devices. If we drill down on Awesome Wi-Fi 2.4 gig, now you can see right here there's 3 Arlo devices. These are the 3 cameras, and how much time are they taking up? And then there's a little bit of retransmit time. If I go look at this particular camera, this shows the clear to send and ready to send. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the actual packets. So this is the access point talking to the camera. It's talking at 802.11g at 24 meg, and then the camera is talking back to Arlo Tech to the access point. It's talking back at 802.11g at 24 megabits. So the reason this is important information is 802.11g has a maximum speed of 54 megabits, and it does not have MIMO capability. So what this means is 802.11g has a maximum speed of 54 meg, which is okay, because when you're dealing with 1080p video, that's about 5 megabits. So having 54 megabit radio link from here to the access point is fine. But when we look at the overall network of 3 or 4 cameras transmitting, and we're looking at it on our app, what that looks like if you're going with G's is look at the traffic and the congestion that we're getting on 2.4 gig. If we went to a newer spec called 802.11n, it tends to be 3 times faster. It's capable of 144 meg. You can see that right here. The access point is capable of 144 meg, or almost 3 times as fast. For me, to summarize this up, all my videos, I summarize them as what can we do for free, what can we do that's low cost, and when do we go big. The bang for the buck of these cameras is outrageously positive. These are really good cameras, but their impact of the Wi-Fi is such, because they're 802.11g, is they can cause congestion on 2.4 gigahertz. So what can you do for free? The good news is there's a free solution. We just showed you that, which is you can go to the Wi-Fi access point and change the provisioning on that access point from a single SSID, 2.4 gigahertz. I'll put that as Wi-Fi slow, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi fast. And by that simple change that you can do for free on your own access point, you can then push all of the cameras down to the 2.4 gig band, and then you can save the 5 gigahertz band up here, which is virtually noise-free for everything in your house. So this phone is now on the 5 gigahertz band. It's noise-free, and I'm able to get 40 meg down and 20 meg up, and I'm not interfering at all with the cameras. I'm moving the cameras over here, moving them around. And these cameras are on 2.4 gig. They're completely isolated from this. I'm going to do another speed test. And you can see down here at 2.4 gig where I've been moving the cameras around, causing traffic. And then we go up here to 5 gig, and you can see the speed test going on. And I'm not even saturating the band with that. So these are definitely a buy. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to put one up at my office and a couple of them around the house. I really like the app, but for me, as a Wi-Fi guy, I'm going to keep these guys on 2.4 gig band, and I'm going to reserve all the other traffic in the house for 5 gigahertz.